This is one of the fastest SUVs Porsche has ever created. You floor it and it goes and goes, but what it doesn't do is make a whole lot of noise. I'm in the second generation Porsche Macan. It is fully electric, they're not doing a petrol version at all, and it is seriously fast. This one I'm in is the Macan Turbo, obviously not a turbocharger. It distinguishes that it's at the top of the model range for the Macan, and it means it's got a lot of grunt. So dual motors, you've actually got a bigger motor at the rear than the front, and combined they make 430 kilowatts of power. If you engage the launch control system, 470 kilowatts of power. So enormously powerful, and it's also got more torque than a whole bunch of pretty fancy supercars, 1130 Newton meters. So what that translates to is extreme acceleration. You can get to 100 kilometers an hour in as little as 3.3 seconds. Now that's faster than a lot of Porsche 911s, so if grunt is your thing, you are not lacking in this car. Now it doesn't come cheap. The standard Porsche Macan, the Macan 4, it's going to kick off at around about $145,000 drive away. The Macan Turbo, the one I'm in now, closer to $200,000. One thing Porsche's done with this car is optimise it for its electrical architecture. So the seating position, for example, I'm actually a lot lower than I was in the previous generation Macan. You're not quite at sports car levels, but you're not at traditional SUV levels as well. So sitting quite low in the cabin, that gives me heaps of headroom. Even in the back seats, despite the sort of coupe-like profile of the roofline, those back seats have got heaps of headroom even for adults. So it's quite a spacious cabin for what is a mid-sized SUV. It's also got some more smarts under the skin. So for the first time, for example, rear wheel steering. So when you come into a tighter corner, you can sort of feel it almost kicking the tail out a little bit, making it easier to get around the bend, improving that agility. And at higher speeds, it improves the stability. So you've got some extra confidence. And confidence is one thing that this car is not lacking in. So there's enormous amounts of grip. You pile into a corner and it hangs on really tenaciously. It's a seriously capable car, which obviously works well. You've got all that grunt from the motors. You've got so much to play with. To have that confidence in the way it drives certainly adds to the whole equation. And that's the thing with the Macan, this latest Macan, is that it really is a driver's car. Sure, you don't have the noise, but you've got the excitement, you've got the thrills, you've got the driving fun, and that's despite having so much weight. This is not a light car, it's 2.4 tonnes worth of Porsche SUV. It's also riding on air suspension, so in normal mode, which I'm in now, it's actually reasonably supple. You still get some sharpness over sort of smaller or harsher bumps, but over the larger ones, it's pretty impressive. Inside, there's a whole bunch of Porsche 911 familiarity. The steering wheel, straight out of a 911. Things like the instrument cluster, we've got a 12.6-inch curved instrument cluster, and again, the gauge layout, the digital gauge layout is sort of modelled around that iconic 911. No shortage of tech. You're looking at 10.9-inch screen in the centre. You can option another 10.9-inch screen for the passenger. They can watch YouTube while they're riding along. So it's got sort of all the latest gizmos and gadgets. So the Macan will arrive late in 2024 with huge expectations. It's Porsche's top-selling model, and all of a sudden you can only get an electric version. It does arrive with a whole bunch of substance. It's got the driving thrills, it's got the pace, serious pace, more pace than any mid-sized SUVs had previously. So from that perspective, it ticks a lot of boxes. Range, you can get up to 613 kilometres between charges, and charging, well, it's almost as fast as how it goes. You can get up to 270 kilowatts into it in terms of ultra-rapid charging. So perhaps the biggest challenge the Macan is going to have is convincing those people who aren't quite ready yet for an EV that this will do the trick, or convincing them that a Porsche electric SUV can be as exciting as the petrol-powered ones. And the reality is, in a lot of ways, you'd say it's more exciting. It's got a lot going for it.